Stoic wisdom, utilizing fear for mental strength. Fear, it paralyzes most people. It makes them hesitate, overthink, and avoid discomfort. Fear whispers, what if you fail? What if you lose? What if it all goes wrong? But what if fear wasn't your enemy? What if fear could be your greatest teacher, your path to unshakable mental strength? The Stoics didn't run from fear. They embraced it, controlled it, and used it to build an unbreakable mind. In this video, you'll discover how to use fear the Stoic way, to turn anxiety into clarity, hesitation into action, and uncertainty into confidence. Chapter 1. Fear is not the enemy, it's a signal. Most people assume fear is something to be avoided, a sign of weakness. But the Stoics believe fear is just information. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote, "You shouldn't give circumstances the power to rouse anger, for they don't care at all. Fear doesn't control you. Your reaction to fear controls you." Think about it. A soldier feels fear before battle. A speaker feels fear before addressing a crowd. An athlete feels fear before a big competition. But does that mean they should stop? Fear is simply a sign of something important. The Stoics knew that fear highlights what we value. You fear public speaking because you care about how others perceive you. You fear failure because you value success. You fear losing loved ones because they mean everything to you. Fear is not the enemy. Ignoring it or letting it control you is. Chapter 2. Fear is an opportunity to train the mind. Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, practiced premeditatio malorum, the art of preparing for the worst. He would sit in silence and imagine everything going wrong. What if I lose all my wealth? What if I'm exiled? What if tomorrow is my last day? Instead of avoiding these thoughts, he welcomed them. Seneca said, "He robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming beforehand." The mind is like a warrior. If it never trains for battle, it will crumble when the fight begins. But if you train yourself to face fear before it happens, you become immune to it. The next time fear grips you, ask yourself, what exactly am I afraid of? Is this fear rational or exaggerated? What is the absolute worst that could happen? If the worst happens, can I still endure? More often than not, you'll realize fear is just an illusion, an overestimation of the threat and an underestimation of your strength. Chapter 3. Voluntary hardship, using fear as a tool. Imagine two men. One avoids discomfort. He seeks pleasure, ease, and comfort at every turn. The other, he embraces discomfort. He trains his mind and body to endure hardship. Who will be stronger when disaster strikes? The Stoics practiced voluntary hardship. They would deliberately experience discomfort to train their resilience. Epictetus, who was born into slavery and later became a great Stoic teacher, said, "Difficulties show a man to himself." Here's how you can use fear as a training tool. Face small fears daily. If you're afraid of speaking up, force yourself to do it. If you fear discomfort, take cold showers. Expose yourself to controlled difficulty. Walk in the rain without an umbrella. Skip a meal. Sleep on the floor. Challenge your limits. When fear says, "You can't," respond with, "Watch me." Every time you choose discomfort over fear, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your doubts. Chapter 4. Memento mori, overcoming the ultimate fear. There is one fear that rules them all, the fear of death. Most people refuse to think about it. They live as if they have infinite time. But the Stoics meditated on death daily. Memento mori, remember you will die. Marcus Aurelius reflected, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. This wasn't about being morbid, it was about waking up. When you truly accept that life is temporary, fear loses its grip. You stop worrying about what people think. You stop hesitating and start living boldly. You stop fearing failure, because in the end, none of it matters. If today was your last day, would you let fear stop you from living? The Stoics knew fear dies when you embrace mortality. Chapter 5. Turning fear into power, the Stoic way. The goal is not to eliminate fear. That's impossible. The goal is to use fear as fuel, to transform it into action. Here's how. 1. Reframe fear as a challenge, not a threat. 2. Practice voluntary discomfort to weaken fear's grip. 3. Use negative visualization to prepare for the worst. 4. Embrace memento. Mori, death is not to be feared, but accepted. The Stoics were not fearless. They simply refused to let fear dictate their lives. And now, so can you.